So in this video, we are going to be talking about brakes, front brakes in particular, what you should check, what you should adjust, how to grab your brakes, and so on and so forth. So stay tuned. As I've said in my past couple of videos, I am no expert, but I was trained by the police here, and this is how they taught us. I myself don't use the rear brakes. The only time I use the rear brakes is for emergency braking. I always just use the front, and I only use one finger. The reason why you're using one finger is that 4 is just too strong and it's very hard to modulate. Now 1, you need to exert for you to give it, your 100%. Now if you think that you're weak, then 2 will do, but I think that's the most. If you will see some of my videos, my finger is always here. Throttling, it will still be here. Releasing, it will be just on top. The reason why your finger is always here is when your oh shit moment happens, then you are always prepared. Now if you are here, how many milliseconds would it take for your brain to tell your finger to go here and then brake? Well, if it's already here, then you just have to brake it. If you're driving slow, then that won't matter. It's just a couple of feet. But imagine driving 100 or 120 and you took a bit of time before you can brake, then you will cover a lot of distance with that. Second, make sure to adjust your brakes where your arms is just straight. Now this is an average of me sitting down and then do it on this position. So it's an average because you cannot make it on this position like so, because when you go up, then it's going to be too bent. Now if you adjust it to this position, now if you crotch, this is now too bent. So make an average where you're comfortable are and just position it there. Now let's talk about play. Now play, there shouldn't be play. The smallest play is the best. Because here's another situation where when you have that oh shit moment and you want to modulate it, you hit the brakes, and because there's play, then you need to add more. And when you add more, that's where your strength comes in. You try to grab it more and then upsets your suspension, and then you will drop the bike. So that is actually one of the reasons why they don't teach you to use the front brakes. Most of the time they would say don't use the front brakes when you're driving slow on slow maneuvers. But if you have learned how to modulate it, then you won't get wrong. That's why we practice. I cannot say that I will not make a mistake because I'm human. I will make a mistake, but I just need to practice it more and more and more. Now imagine if there is a play. Now let's check MJ's bike, because when I got it from him, I believe there's a lot of play. So if you measure, let's measure this first. Let's get a baseline. So that will be 50 millimeter. And if I break it, that's 45. That's just 5 millimeter play. Now, we're talking about play. Now, imagine you using this one. Now, this multiplies play. So that's 65. And that's 60, 55, 6, 7, 57. So that's the play that you will get from this. Now, if you just felt that when you brake and the brake wasn't, you couldn't feel the friction, then you will add more. Like, oh shit, then you add too much and then upset the suspension of the bike. Now, if we look at MJ's bike, you see the play? That's very big. So if you suddenly got that oh shit moment, you press your brake and then you didn't felt the friction and you add more. When you add more, your strength will be doubled. Then that will upset your suspension. So his play is so that's 53. Oh shit, that's big. 53 minus 35. So that's more than 10. And this is almost triple the play of my bike. So why does it have play? Now play is because of air in the system. Now because air is compressible while fluid is not, that play is your air being compressed. Now if air is absent, then you don't have any air to compress. So once you press it, then friction automatically engages. We've talked about your hand position, how to adjust it, where to position it, how to grab it, and then what to check. Make sure to bleed your brakes, especially if you're doing a lot of long rides. You should bleed your brakes as often as possible. Remember that our brake fluids, they're hygroscopic. They absorb moisture from the air. So even if you put an unused old brake fluid, which is lying in your shop, in your garage, and you know that the seal, the cap is not that tight, it's not airtight, then be cautious on using those. I remember in automotive school, we were taught to use new unopened bottles when topping up your brake fluids. Or you can make sure that you buy those bottles that are really airtight, then maybe that's safe to use even after opening. Before we proceed with MJ's bike, because I'm going to be replacing his fluid just to remove the play, make sure there is no roughness. Because remember that air goes here and all the dirt and grime will go in between those metal and it will have that rough feeling. So just always remove the shaft, clean everything, and then put some grease. Now with regards to bleeding your brakes, now always bleed your brakes from the farthest caliper. The farthest for the VFR would be the left one, this one. For the MT-09, it will be the right one, this one. I don't know if it's, well, it looks standard because the bracket is here. So just make sure, just backtrack, just follow the hoses on where is the farthest. So let me do this and let's find out how much play we can remove from the brakes. So make sure you have a lot of rug because brake fluid they will destroy your paint. Why is this? Oh, so we need to straighten this bracket. If you can see, it's wobbling because it's not straight. So this should bend So this notch will go inside the hole. Oh, nasty. So don't wait for your brakes to look like this. Okay. So get your drain bottle. Make sure that the end of the hose is dipped under the brake fluid. So it's going to be like a one-way valve. Pump. Hold the brakes. Release this. Close. Release the brakes. Okay, let's go to the other side. So we are just waiting for the fluid to be clear. Okay, so one more valve to bleed. There you go. See the bubbles? It's 53. Why am I measuring this again? And then compressed. It's 43. There you go. We were able to lessen the play. It's now 10 millimeter. Better than 18. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you got something. And this is just a few thoughts about brakes. There's a lot. We still are going to talk about brakes for a long time. Brakes is a very, very huge topic. So anyways, hope you like this. Peace out.